Okay, so hello, welcome back to the Unicorn Any Percent Speedrun tutorial. This is going to be part 2 in which I talk about the first level in the speedrun out of 3, which is Candy. So, in Candy, I'm actually towards the end of the level. The starting platform's actually right down there. You can see it right below this big unicorn statue here. The starting platform is over there, but I'm actually over here to show you that this is basically the entirety of what the entirety of Candy is based off of is this Candy cycle right here, because there is no way to cross the gap here to the ending platform in the last 5 coins that we do end up getting in the route without getting this Candy cycle. There is just physically no way to get over there without doing so, or at least there's no discovered way of doing that currently right now. So that being said, I'm going to be teaching 3 different routes in which the first 2, the beginner and advanced routes, will be able to get what we'll call the normal cycle, and then the expert route will be able to get the early cycle. And then there's also I guess we'll call it the late cycle, and that is you would have to make a couple hiccups, and it's not necessarily bad, it's just that you're losing roughly 10 or 11 seconds each time you get a slower cycle. So you always want to be aiming for at least the normal cycle. That being said, like I said, I'm going to teach routes that can both get the normal cycle. However, say the advanced route versus the beginner route, the advanced route is much easier to get the normal cycle. So even though I'll be showing you different strats today, you can mix and match the strats, because all the mixes and matches of the strats I'm going to show you today have the potential to get the normal cycle. But I just wanted to show you that you will need to board this Candy at certain times, and then I will have the times for each cycle so you know which cycle you got, because this will be the start of the run, so you'll be able to see exactly where on your timer those times should be right now. So if you see that, there's 3 different times there, and now I will be able to go and show you the start of this level and basically all the strats that lead up to it. Okay, so here we are. We are at the start of the level. This is where the unicorn spawns. I walked forwards a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to be teaching the beginner and the advanced routes at the same time, and then just showing you different strats you can mix and match. And then I'm going to have example runs in the description that you can go to show you the ways I would do it for each way to do it. Once again, every single thing I've shown you today in combination, I am 99% sure at the very least will be able to get you the normal cycle. And in the example runs, it is proven that you can see that I get at very least the normal cycle for both of these routes. And then after both of those, I will show you the expert route, as it's a bit different. So yeah, so first of all, you start on the starting platform. Something I want to mention is, so when you're here, you'll go into the portal, and as soon as the screen goes fully black, so once that little unicorn thing goes away, that's when you'll start the timer. And then if you notice, I was talking, but you'll notice you'll be able to hear it, and you'll be able to hear the music start. The unicorn will essentially place himself in the level, or herself, or whatever. The unicorn will be placed in the level. And you'll be able to hear like the little feet landing, which signifies that you can now provide input, because, or at least I believe on it might be different on controller, but on keyboard I cannot be holding input during that transition and keep coming out. So as soon as the unicorn lands, then you can move. So the first thing you want to do is either tilt your camera and hold W, or you can hold W and A for a little bit, although I just recommend tilting your camera a bit and holding forwards. By the way, that's something I recommend all the time, especially if you're on keyboard and mouse. You want to be doing less of this kind of movement and more of this kind of movement, because it's much easier to get more precise angles than it is for this. Now, of course, if you want to kick off fast, maybe use different inputs, but most of the time you want to be moving around your camera. So the first thing we're going to do is collect all the coins on this platform for the beginner and advanced routes. So you come down here. You could either an easy way to do this would actually just be to jump off, because you're going to get roughly around here, or you could just walk off, or you could do a spin off, which once again, you might be a little disoriented, but it is the best way to do this. So if you tilt the camera a bit, hold W, and you spin off, you should land around here. Then we are going to spin jump through most presents on the ground, because if you notice, the coin, so this hitbox for the coins actually do matter. Like, I can actually run under this coin. So like I said, you're able to spin jump into the present, so then you would do a double jump after the spin jump, and then collect these 4 coins. Now, do not collect this coin, because we're going to be coming back to get it. And second of all, really quickly, I just want to talk about just movement when you're getting coins. Try to spin if you can. It is slightly faster. However, if you do not feel comfortable spinning, or if you think you're going to overshoot something, then don't do it, because missing coins is a big time loss in this, and it is not worth it if you're not confident in your ability to really, like, quickly just take your time. So then we're going to make a jump and a double jump over here. Once again, you can mix and match your movement how it feels comfortable, but I feel like this is the fastest way to do it. You're going to grab these 4 coins, or 5 coins, sorry, and then you're going to make your way back to the starting platform, grabbing this last green coin on your way back. So then that is a double jump for me, and then 3 spin jumps. And I'm going to land roughly around here. Now, you just have about enough jump height to get onto this platform right here, because our ultimate goal is to get onto that, I don't know, I guess icing platform. So you could do a slow, if you want to be safe, you could do a slow jump and then another jump up here. If you want to be slightly faster, you can do a spin jump and then a jump, and it gives you a little bit of momentum. However, that is a little difficult, and it doesn't save a ton of time. So then I would just do like 1 spin on this platform, maybe 2 if you need a lot of room. And here is probably the hardest trick I'm going to teach in the beginner and advanced routes, and that is the jump to this bounce pad over here. Now, this is one thing where I feel like it is easier to, like I said in the first episode of this tutorial, maximize your distance off of your spin, off of your jump. So, looking at the ground is a pretty good representation. Don't jump too late. This isn't as tight as you think it is, and it's right at the start of the run, so it's no big deal. All you need to do is spin and then jump at the latest you can. However, don't overdo it, because like I said, it's not actually as tight as it might look, and you're going to land roughly on the corner of that bounce pad, and then we are going to go up all of the bounce pads, like so. So, timing your double jump is something that is important. You'll notice that I kind of didn't double jump immediately. I kind of waited to maximize my distance. If you're looking at the platform, you'll get a feel for it. It's, you know, within a couple of tries, you should be able to get it. So once you're on here, you want to make a swift turn to go up these bounce pads. If you need to use your double jump, you can. And you're just going to come up here and collect these 5 coins and turn back around, as we are going to go back down. Now, I will mention something really quickly. These bounce pads, and I do not know why, I have tried to figure it out, and there is no rhyme or reason to it, but give you random amounts of different momentum off of them. Sometimes you'll be able to go from this first bounce pad all the way back down to that cloud, and sometimes you won't. Just be cautious and safe about it and eyeball it. It's not that huge of a time save or time loss if you do or don't get to the cloud immediately, but I usually do skip the second platform every time. So we'll see what happens here. Here I did not get that much momentum, so I'm just going to land on this and then do an immediate double jump. I mean, don't do it so fast that you fall. If you feel inconfident about it, then do it later. However, it's really not that hard to time a decent one. So then you are going to spin jump for this, do a double jump, and then do another double jump to make it here. Now you'll be able to spin these guys away, by the way, so don't worry about them. I should have shown you that, but it's not a big deal. I can show you it later. Whatever pattern you collect these in really doesn't matter. So I usually go like this. However, you can go from the left. You can go down the middle if you really want to. But usually I'd like to end on this one. Here you can either do a long spin jump, or you can do a double jump. I prefer to spin double jump, then 2 spin jumps, a double jump here to land here. Now, once again, you can collect these in any way you want, but I do feel like the way I do it is the fastest, so I'll show you now. Spin into this one, and then jump around the edges. If you don't feel comfortable jumping around the edges, you don't have to. And once again, here, it is slightly faster to jump and land right here, and then to do the next jump we're going to be doing. But however, if you do not feel confident in that, then you can do this, because this next jump is a little bit difficult. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be double jumping onto that fence over there. Now, if you don't make it onto the fence, if you overshoot or undershoot the fence, of course, you can jump onto it. But we are going to need to be on the fence for the next jump we do. So you double jump onto the fence. Notice how I missed it here. I'm going to show you me getting it really quickly because just to show you what it looks like. You can, of course, you can actually land on this piece, but I usually land on this piece, which is just, if you notice, I'm like on the second one from the little cracked piece. And this is going to allow us to be able to spin and double jump onto this platform. If you do not make it, once again, you can either jump on here, or it is very risky, but it is technically possible to jump up here if you do a perfectly timed jump, or if you really need more time, you can jump over here. But I do recommend just jumping onto the fence because it gets consistent and it's not that hard. It's usually like around from where you jump, it's basically the max distance if you just go straight to this piece. So you double jump up here, and this is where the routes are going to diverge. So I'm going to show you the beginner route, and then I'm going to be showing you the advanced route. Both basically until they converge again. So for the beginner route, you are going to grab this piece and then double jump up here, and then you are going to grab this piece and wall jump and just do a double jump up to here, so until you get onto here. Now you can, once again, if you miss the fence, which you should always end up landing on the fence, you can just jump up here without any with just a simple double jump. However, if you get on the fence, it's a little bit faster. You're going to come up to this platform, and you're going to come up to this platform, and you are going to grab these 5 coins and turn around. Here is where we are going to be getting onto this spinner, and we're going to be using the momentum to do what has been named the Blizzard Bounce, or the Blizz Bounce for short, because I discovered it a long time ago early on in my time speedrunning this game. So what you're going to do is you should land roughly, if you're doing the route I've shown you so far with like ample time, there should be right around here, right around where this opening is, one of these platforms should be coming around. And you're going to be able to spin jump off and use the momentum to get onto this white wall over here and wall jump off of it. You can also go on the right wall, but you are not going to get as much height, and it is much harder to get momentum onto it. So I actually think it is much easier to go onto the left wall. However, it is preference. I'm going to be showing you the left wall. If you'd like to try out getting on this right wall over here, you can try it, but I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to come down from there. I'm going to land roughly right here, and I'm going to spin jump, do a double jump, hit the wall, and then double jump over here. And that crosses this entire gap. So that is the beginner route. I'm now going to go back and show you the advanced route. Okay, so we're back here, and I'm going to be showing you the advanced route now. Now, I highly recommend you learn this right off the bat. I only called it beginner and advanced because technically this is going to use the triple jump tech, but the triple jump tech is extremely easy to get consistent at after you try it a couple times, and it's not hard to practice because there's no risk of death here. So I really highly recommend you start doing this immediately because it makes getting the not late cycle, so like the normal cycle, much easier than the beginner route does. So I really highly recommend you immediately learn this, but there is the easier option for players who do not want to do this yet. So you're going to grab this present. Ideally, you can actually jump at the wall as you're grabbing it, but I'd say that you have time, especially in this route now. You're not going to be on a time crunch to get the normal cycle, so or at least you're not, theoretically, if you do this all flowing relatively well, you are not going to be on a time crunch to get the normal cycle. So that means you have time to realign yourself if you want. You can spin, get the present, kind of turn the camera around, and then you're going to do a triple jump off of this wall. So once again, you can do it out of a spin jump if you want. If not, you don't have to. But here, you're just going to come up to the wall. You don't need to be on the fence or anything. Jump, and then wait, and then do 2 jumps. It's that simple. You know, you can look at my controller inputs if you're confused. Don't buffer jump immediately because then the triple jump will not work sometimes. Just wait, give it a second, and then boom, 2 jumps. And that's all you need. Now, don't jump immediately once again, because then you're not going to have like that kind of time. You know, you got to wait till the unicorn's coming back and then do 2 rhythmic jumps. And then you're going to land on this platform. And we are going to be replacing the present we normally get down there with this present up here. So you're going to spin jump into it, double jump onto this lollipop. Now, you cannot spin jump here. Spin jumping here is too fast. It's not worth the speed. So we just do 1 normal jump onto this green lollipop, and then we spin jump and double jump up to this platform, in which the route will be relatively the same. We will grab these coins. We will then jump off of here. This will be coming around. We will do the blizz bounce, and you are back to where we were before. So from here, now that you've seen both ways to do it, from here, we are just going to jump around the wall, and we are going to grab these 5 coins. Grabbing this one last is a little whack, so if you do not feel like grabbing this one last, that's okay. It's technically, I believe, to be the fastest way to do it. However, if you want to do a pattern more like this, and then go into the wall jump section, because if you get this one last, which I do, is sometimes hard, like if you're coming against this wall to get a good wall jump, and you want a high wall jump. So maybe just distance yourself from the wall a bit, do a double jump, and get up this wall as fast as you can. From here, we are going to spin jump up here, grab these 5 coins, and then you're going to turn around and make your way back off the platform. Do as big of a jump as you can. You'll probably land roughly around here, or you might land around here. I suggest just walking off, because spin jumping off can give you a bit of a misorientation, or if you're over here, then you can just spin jump. Then you're going to spin jump and double jump to get that present, and you're going to make your way up these platforms and to the piece of candy with 45 coins. Now, sometimes, if you're on a time crunch, this thing will just barely be coming back, and you'll just be able to barely make it. If you feel like you're not going to make it, it is possible to double jump to the candy, excuse me. So if you need to do so, go ahead and do so. Do not be afraid to do it. If you feel like a whole cycle is in jeopardy because of it, you do not want to lose that cycle. It is worth going for it. This is at the start of the run. It's like roughly a minute and 40 seconds, I believe, somewhere around there. That you're going to have, or maybe a minute 50, that you're going to have to get here anyways, so do not worry about it. Now we're going to talk about the momentum jump off of this candy platform. Now, the safe thing to do, but the slower thing to do, is just to wait for a bit of this momentum that you get, and then spin jump to this cloud platform. You can make it to the second cloud platform, but once again, you're not very far, and you have to spin jump all the way over there. The faster thing to do is to actually immediately jump to this platform using your momentum, which would be done like this. So you wait till the end of the momentum, and then you just double jump to around here on this platform. And then from here, you know, if you're on the clouds, if you did the safe way, or if you did the immediate jump, you just jump down here, grab these 5 coins, and then the animation for the unicorn piece will spawn. And then from here, you just do a double jump onto this platform, turn around onto this one, and then double jump and single jump, or double jump if you're, you know, afraid of messing up here. Sometimes I do that when I get the early cycle, and spin into here and split. And that is the beginner and advanced candy routes. Now I'll be showing you the expert route. Okay, so for the expert route, this is just barely possible within a second to a half a second of error. I would say even less than a second is more plausible to actually get the early cycle. So this is really hard to perform, and it will take a lot of practice to do consistently, as this game can be really weird sometimes. However, if any of the strats are the same, I'm going to be basically running through them really quickly. However, the start is entirely changed, so welcome to this part. So immediately, if you are going to learn this, immediately what you're going to do as you spawn basically you have to do this. You have to do this as soon as possible. You're going to be coming over here. If you break the present, it doesn't matter. We're not going to get it yet, so you do not need to worry about breaking the present. However, do a camera movement shades, or go up and to the left a little bit so you land around right here. You might hit the present, you might not. You might be over here. Doesn't matter. If you hit it, cool. That's great. You've broken it. It doesn't matter. Your goal is to get up to this platform as fast as possible, and then immediately you're going to land around here, do a spin jump, and hit this trick. Now, from here, you are once again going to turn around as soon as possible and get up the bounce pads as fast as you can. However, from here, we need to do we need to land on the edge of the bounce pad's hitbox so that we do not actually bounce on this last one, because it is slightly faster than bouncing to just land on it. So if you notice, if I can replicate it right here, if I land on the edge of the bounce pad's hitbox, now I have the ability to spin jump off of a bounce pad. So my tip to you for this trick here is that you want to be, the best thing to do is to be holding forward and align the camera instead of your body, because it works much better if the unicorn is running straight on like the edge like this instead of like landing on the edge like this. It works more of the time if you're running like this. So I usually come around here, I line myself up to the edge, I'm holding forwards, and bam. As soon as I land on here, I can go over here and spin jump to the platform. You must do this to get the early cycle on the expert route. If you want to do this expert route without doing that, getting the early cycle will most likely not work, and also getting the other cycle that this route is required on with those candies over there that you see in the distance that we're going to be using here in a little bit will not be possible. So you basically have to do this if you're going to learn this route. It is hard to get consistent at, but with a lot of practice, you're going to be able to do it, and you're going to be able to spin jump up here. So then you collect these 5 coins as fast as possible. I usually do that collecting right there so that I can immediately turn around and jump back down here. Avoid the platform, do a double jump, don't do it so early that you don't make it to the platform. Try to maximize your distance because you're going to be keeping your speed as long as possible. Do a single jump, and then I like to land about right around here. And now you could do a really quick spin jump, but I like to do like a very delayed spin jump. So spin jump. Don't do it like that because I lost too much speed. But ideally you do that, then you do a double jump, and this time we are going to collect this 5th coin on like the beginner and advanced routes, and then continue on our normal path. And then you're going to jump onto this fence. Now, once you're onto this fence, I want to say the candy is going to be around right here. Maybe a little bit later. It is still possible if it's a little bit later. I'll actually show you if it's a little bit later. So say it's right here. We're going to spin jump onto this candy and then make it to this cloud over here. A tip of mine to you is that this purple candy is moving this way. So since it's moving that way, if you can hold slightly to the right, or like press D or slightly to the right on your control stick, you will be able to get a tiny bit of momentum. Don't overdo it because we don't want to overshoot this cloud, but if you use that tiny bit of momentum and then immediately redirect it to going forward, you can get further up on this cloud, and it makes getting the next piece of green candy that we'll be using as momentum, it makes getting that a lot easier. So from here, we do this. I'm going to use a little bit of that momentum, and as you can see, I'm a little bit late. You're going to jump onto this piece of candy, and then you're going to, as early as you can, while still making this jump. I'm a bit late here, so this won't be as good of an example, but on the example run, you'll see how early I get the cycle. You're going to jump off as far on the edge and as far early as you can to make it to this platform with the 5 coins over here, using the momentum of the candy. So that wasn't very good, but once again, I showed you if it was late. Now, if you don't get enough momentum, you're most likely, you're most likely not going to make the cycle. However, you'll see if you do or not by the end, if you get consistent at this whole route, whether or not like you should immediately reset if you get a slow jump here. You'll have to get a feel for it. I usually do not reset, because I believe that most of them I can save. However, like in that instance, that was incredibly slow. I probably would just stop. I would probably just jump off and reset the run. So from here, you're going to grab these 5 coins, try not to get hit by the enemies, turn around, and it's going to be the same route up until the Blizz Bounce, in which we will do something different. So I will just collect all the coins around here. Jump onto this, come up here, missed that. Oops. Do the triple jump, come up here, grab these coins. So if you notice, we have not collected the present over there by the bounce pads, which means we are going to get another one, and we're going to be getting that present down there. Now, so from here, I suggest that you jump onto this platform and you do as distance of a jump as you can to this present, because we are going to be immediately jumping into this present and doing a triple jump onto this blue candy. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there is a crease right about right here, and we're actually going to be landing on this crease of the blue candy. So, do a max distance jump to about right here. You're going to land as in front of the present as you possibly can. From there, you are going to do a triple jump off of this piece of the candy. I recommend that you aim for about right here. This blue streak of the blue candy is where you're going to do your first jump off of, and then you should just be able to hold forward the whole time. So, from here, jump off of it, hold forward, and then do a double jump. From here, you're going to land. I want you to land roughly about right here in front of the same blue piece that you, well, not the same blue streak, but another blue streak that jumped off earlier. And then we're going to want to land roughly around the blue and white intersection of these pieces right here. Now, you cannot hold, you're going to double jump up here. However, you must maximize the distance of this double jump. And you, by the way, you have to do this all pretty quickly because there's not a lot of room for this cycle once again. You already have to have basically a perfect run up until now. This is, once again, this is extremely hard. So, from here, you are going to do a double jump. You are not going to hold forwards for the whole time, though. You are going to actually not want to hold forwards until roughly right before or right when you do your double jump. And once again, you don't want to double jump immediately. Try to maximize your height. Try to get as high of a double jump as you can. So here, like so, I'm going to land roughly in between those two areas. If not, you will slide off. It is a pretty tight window where you can actually land here. And you also can't be holding forwards immediately, or else you'll just wall jump off of the candy like this. So, once you're up here, you're going to do that. If you look at my controls, once again, that is right about here. I'm not holding forwards. I'm holding forwards, and I maximize my jump. There, I didn't get it. There I did not get the double jump, so make sure you're closer to the blue piece. Once again, just maximize your jump and then hold forward right around when you do your double jump, and you'll land here. I usually just do a spin on here to get onto the edge of this as much as possible. Don't get too far on the edge, or else you will not be able to perform a spin jump. Now you will perform, I'd say, a relatively instant spin jump. Also, by the way, how you know you're on cycle for this candy, I'd say is about right when it's around here, or maybe even a little bit later. This piece of candy will be coming back, and you'll be spin jumping to this corner. That's how you know it is possible to get the cycle. Right now, let's say, theoretically, I'm on a run that the candy's around here. You should be able to get the early cycle still. Immediately jump over here to this right side, get these 5 coins, jump off, and land. This is a very hard landing. If you land on this higher up platform, you will not grab the green piece. So you must be on this ground platform. It is really hard to land on this green coin, but you basically have to do it. So from here, land on it. Notice how I went too far. Just try to. It takes a lot of practice, but what I can say is do not land on this higher platform. It is worse than doing what I just did, where I a little overlanded it. So come here, grab the coins, and basically this order is the only way I know it's possible. Then you are going to do an extended double jump to here. It'll land you right in front of here, and you are going to race over here. 99.9% of the time, I actually don't know that I've ever gotten a cycle where I did not have to jump from this piece of candy. You do not have enough time to get over here. So you are going to just barely make this cycle. You'll see it in the example run. You're just going to barely make this cycle. And then from here, the route is the exact same. You know, you get your momentum jump. That was a pretty bad one. You come over here. And you will spawn the unicorn piece, and you will go up as usual. You just come over here and go up and collect the piece. And that is the expert candy route. I will have, once again, an example in the description to a video of me doing that route and a timer for it with inputs and everything. You can mix and match the strats I've shown you today. As far as I understand, the mix and match of like any of the things I've told you, they can all at the very least get the normal cycle, as the beginner strats are basically all of the slowest strats I have. But you can, you know, if you want to not do the the difficult beginning, but you want to climb the blue piece of licorice, the blue and white piece of licorice, or whatever we want to call it, go right ahead. I just feel like for time versus efficiency, all of these routes are the way I would, that I had taught you. However, you can mix and match them however you want. Anyways, that has been the episode for the first stage in the game, which is Candy, and I hope to see you guys in the next tutorial.